I left Dekra Odioa with nothing but a guitar case, a duffel bag, and a heart full of noise. Some people leave home for fame, others for freedom. Me, I left for the love of a city I'd never seen but felt in my bones. Basin City. Sin City. It was everything I'd imagined. Smoke, neon, asphalt mains, and danger around every corner. But underneath all that filth, there was truth. The kind you didn't find in polite towns. I met Marv in a dive bar just off the strip. He was throwing a guy through a jukebox when I walked in. I didn't flinch. Just took the next bar stool and ordered whiskey. He respected that. Later that night, he asked me, "You from around here?" "No," I said. "But I'm not going anywhere." He liked that too. From then on, we were thick as thieves. He called me Kid. I called him Tank. We didn't talk much, but we bled together a few times. That's what made it real. One rainy night, Marv dragged me down an alley lit only by flickering neon and whispered, "You ever been to Old Town?" That was the night I met Gail, boots laced to the knees, a glare that could gut a man. And that's when I saw her for the first time. Mayho, she was perched on a rooftop like a gargoyle, silent and untouchable. Swords crossed on her back. Her gaze passed over me for a second longer than it needed to. Something started that night. Something I didn't understand yet. Believe it or not, we had coffee. 3 times, maybe 4. No words. She never spoke, but I didn't need them. We sat under flickering lights at 3 Ames surrounded by ghosts. She always watched me like she was reading every crack in my soul. I liked that. She saw me. Our bond wasn't romantic in the usual way. It was more primal, protective, quiet, deadly. She didn't just like me, she chose me. One night, Marv and I were watching Nancy dance when I stepped outside for a smoke. That's when the gangsters found me. They remembered something I didn't even know I'd done. Guns out, threats whispered. The kind of moment that ends with a body in the alley. But I wasn't alone. Marv burst through the door like a wrecking ball, fists swinging. He cracked 3 skulls before I could blink. Then he dragged me into his car. "You're not dying tonight, kid. Not on my watch." He got me to Old Town, unscathed, and straight to Gail. Dwight was already there, cleaning blood off his boots. Gail lit a cigarette and said, "We can't keep pulling this guy out of the fire." Then she dropped the bomb. "He's marrying Mayho." Everyone froze. Even Dwight stopped moving. What the hell? She already agreed, Gail said. She wants him safe. And he belongs with her. Turns out, while I was bleeding in alleyways, plans were being made. Mayho had given one nod. That was all Gail needed. The girls had moved my stuff into Miho's apartment. The church was hollow and grim, perfect. Gail, Marv, and Dwight stood behind me. Mayho stood across from me, swords sheathed, face unreadable, but there was a light in her eyes. The priest asked, "Mayho, do you take this man?" She gave one small, certain nod. "Dalton, do you take this woman?" "Yes." "Then by no God, no law, and no mercy, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride." Our lips met, short, soft, final. Then the doors exploded open. The gangsters hadn't forgotten. They came for revenge. Bad mistake. Dwight drew first. Gail pulled her twin pistols. Marv roared and charged. Blood splattered against the altar. And Mayho? She didn't hesitate. Her swords came out like lightning, a blur of steel. She danced through them, slicing 7 men to ribbons before her feet even touched the ground again. Not one of them made it out alive. Our wedding ended in a bloodbath, and I had never felt more protected. That night, Mayho and I returned to her apartment. Our apartment, my home. She cleaned her blades in the sink. I poured whiskey. She sat beside me on the bed, leaned her head to my shoulder, and whispered just one word, "Mine." Weeks later, I took them home, all of them. Marv in a trucker jacket. Dwight suspicious of everyone. Gail stealing every eye in the room. and Mayho dressed in black and silk, silent as always. Dekra didn't know what hit it, but my old friends, they welcomed her, treated her kindly, said we looked good together. They didn't know what she was, what she could do, but they didn't need to. They saw how she looked at me, and that was enough. I went to Sin City looking for something real. I found a killer, a protector, a friend, a wife, and she found me. In a world of blood and betrayal, we found love, and no one dares take that away.